So I had this older PC of mine lying in the garage being of no use in there, and so I wanted to turn it into something more useful. And so what did I do? I turned it into a console. That's right, it is now a gaming console hooked up to my PC through HDMI, and it can now emulate several consoles like the Gamecube, NES, or even PlayStation 2. And so because of this, now I can enjoy all of my childhood games without having to download any separate emulator and stuff like that on my main PC. So if all of this is of your interest or you want to do it for yourself, keep watching the video. And trust me, it's easier than you'd expect. Alright, so to make this work, you need a few things, starting up with a USB flash drive. I recommend getting a 16 gig one, but 8 GB is gonna be fine. That old PC obviously, and by the way, you don't even need an internal storage on that thing. However, having that is always an advantage. An existing PC or Mac we need it just for once in order to prepare a flash drive. A game controller is also optional, but having it is gonna make things much more better. A display that can support your older PC's display output. For example, I'm gonna use my TV once everything is ready, but for installation, I'll be using a monitor. And finally, you need game ROMs. I'll tell you what those are when we need them. So to start things up, we plug in the USB flash drive on our existing PC. After which, we'll go onto our PC and we'll download two things. Firstly, Etcher, which is a free and open source software. I'll show you what it is. And also the image of Batocera OS, both of which will be linked below. So once we have both, we'll now open Etcher, and if you're on Windows 11, the portable version might not open, so I'll just open the installed one. Now choose the downloaded Batocera image right here and the flash drive you want to put it on. Now hit flash and give it a while. It's gonna take a while, like 10 minutes depending if you have a USB 2.0 or a 3.0. So in the meantime, go solve a Rubik's Cube, or read a comic book, or just do some coding. Now after some time, come back to your PC, and if you see this, awesome, we can now install Batocera OS onto our old PC, which by the way, I still haven't told you, Batocera is just this operating system, which is gonna do the emulation on our old PC. So now we'll connect our old PC to a monitor through HDMI and also connect a keyboard to be able to do some of the initial setup and our bootable flash drive obviously. Once everything is ready, let's power on our system. Go to the boot menu, which in my case comes by spamming the key F10. Depending on your motherboard brand, it might be different, so make sure to do some self-research on that. On the boot menu, choose the flash drive that we have just prepared. Now after a while, you'll see a similar screen to this if you boot successfully. Mine is a little different because it booted off my existing installation from the internal drive. But the first thing that you should do is take the installation from the flash drive and install it in the internal drive if you have one inside, because it will make things less clumsy. For that, hit spacebar and connect to the network first. You can either just plug in Ethernet or just use Wi-Fi like I am doing here. Also, note down that private IP address. I'll tell you where to use it, but for now, just note it down. Now just go to the system settings, choose this option, install Batocera on a new disk. Choose the drive, set the target architecture to x86_64, flip that last switch and hit install. Now this is going to set up the Batocera OS inside your internal drive so that we do not need this flash drive anymore. I'm not gonna do it right now since I've already done it, but make sure that you choose the right options, and it is going to take a few minutes because it is going to download the image from the internet. In the meanwhile, your system can also go to sleep. So in order to wake it up, just press a random button on your keyboard, after which you should see a success message, which by the way, once you do, just shut down the system, remove the flash drive and boot up your PC again. This time you will directly boot into Batocera home screen and would no longer need the flash drive to be doing so. And this time you may have to configure the Wi-Fi and other things again. You can also download and install new themes if you'd like. This one is my personal favorite. Up until now we're almost done, but you might find out that the pre-installed games in the US are just not enough. And so we need to add more games, or better said, more ROMs. Now ROMs are the zip files or ISO files that you need to find out yourself. Just Google about it, like the game's name you want to get, plus the console you want to get it for. Just make sure that that console is supported by Batocera. For example, the GameCube ROMs, NES ROMs, Super NES ROMs, or a lot more like PlayStation, PlayStation 2, all of those are going to work absolutely fine. For example, I have a Super Mario 64 ROM right here, which is for the N64 system. And so I just have to put it on my console, the emulation console, and I can then play it. Now there's multiple ways to transfer your ROM onto your gaming system. For example, you can just add all of those ROMs onto a flash drive, open up your system, insert the flash drive there, press F1, it will bring up a file manager, and now just drag and drop it. You'll need a mouse, obviously. But the way I like to do it better, and the way I'm gonna tell you right now, is through network. And remember when I asked you to note down that private IP address? Well, you may need to recheck it, as it might have changed after you reinstall it on the internal drive. So check it again, note it down, and follow me. For this, I'll be using my Windows PC. Just open File Explorer and type double backward slashes followed by the IP address that you just noted down. Don't type anything after it, don't press spacebar, just press enter. Just make sure that your PC is connected to the same network as the console gaming system. Now right here you should find a folder named share. Just open it up, find the ROMs folder where you will find many folders, each representing a game console. For example, if I want to play Super Mario 64 from Nintendo 64, I will just copy and paste it in the N64 folder. There is also an info file inside every console folders that will show you which formats are supported. So once you add your ROM or ROMs to their equivalent folders, just restart your system and you should see the games right away. There's also this thing called scraping, which will scan all your ROMs and put these beautiful covers on all of them. It could take a while, so let it happen whenever you're planning to leave the system on. Just do it at least once after you do not really need the internet connection. After my setup was done, I hooked it up to my living room's TV, on which it looked awesome. Like, I even managed to hide the system, like the cabinet, which I guess made some teddy bears uncomfortable. Also forgot to mention that almost every single controllers out there made for PCs can work on the system. However, there is an issue with Bluetooth. If your controller works on Bluetooth, it's fine, but mine did not for some reason. I guess it's because the series controller is new and it's even mentioned on their site that it is not compatible. So make sure that you check that compatibility list. I'll link it below. You also may need to configure the controller, which is going to be pretty simple. Just go to input settings and you'll find everything right there. Also, I did not really go in the depth of the settings options, like there are so many things, because that would make the video pretty long, and I'm sure you can find out, do whatever you want to play with those settings and see what they do by yourself. Also, if you face any audio issues, then try going over the multiple options in the system audio output settings. If you face any other issue, make sure to comment down below or join Batocera's forums. Thanks for watching till the end. If you liked the video, be sure to leave a like, and I will see you guys in the next one.